everybody to forget right now any preconceptions of what this arrangement in the background sounds like, because everybody and his fucking brother have used it, so why shouldn't I? Forget about jump and all that other shit. It's just a little motif that I can jam to and narrate and sing to. There once was a guy who moved to Lowell, and he was just trying to make it. And he went through this whole adventure. He came in on welfare. He got a job from a pot washer. He became, over years, a purchasing agent. Because of this job, he had the opportunity to read and meet people, learn about music, meet musicians, go off in the world and videotape bands and have a collection. He was able to study acting and improvisation and be in plays, and he grew up stuttering. He grew up in Pleasant Valley, a place in Methuen, Massachusetts. And he grew up there. And his father had an alcohol problem. His grandmother would call him nigger because she was, you know, kind of off. And he used to hang around neighbors to get something to eat at lunch, at dinner time, because a lot of times his family, where he was, didn't have a lot of money. And when he was 16, he finally moved out of his house, his father's house, after an argument, and went out on his own from Pleasant Valley. But those people from Pleasant Valley, his Uncle Richard, Pete Levesque, the Busters, oh God love the Busters, and my cousin, and everybody in that neighborhood. Because years later, I realized, many years later, 30 years later, I realized how influential those people really were. Even though I moved out when I was 16 and really went back. My best friend, Paul Listro. I hadn't seen him in years, but we had kept in touch, and we went through an adventure together when he was going through a divorce and everything else, and we hung out, but it was such a wonderful time. I feel so lucky to be from Pleasant Valley. So please, hear my plea when I say that I love growing up, because I realized that the core values and people caring about each other started way back then. And even though my life was, you know, really sad, thanks to Pleasant Valley I came through, because I'm sure a lot of people were wondering. I hope many turns out okay from the life he went through. And even my mother's side of the family is very happy, because I always tried to be around genuine people. Pleasant Valley. See, even though you come from a hard life, if you come from Pleasant Valley, and I go back today, and I think it's still the same in the neighborhood. Minga Valley.